When you're outside walking or doing chores and you hear a prolonged roar that lasts for minutes, what do you do? Well, I don't know about you, but I look up. I see metallic birds soaring through the sky at speeds that almost reach sound. I see what people saw 80 years ago as impossible. Aviation. To me, it's as important as the light bulb or the internet. Without it, we would resort to traveling by boat to get across countries, and some battles would have never won without a squadron bombing hostile area. Planes have done more than improve our daily lives. It has vastly improved our military. The United States has been the first of many things, especially in air combat. Today, we're going to go to the sky and discover how aviation has turned the tides of many battles, and has helped create the America we know today, thanks to the brave pilots in the cockpits. Most people believe the idea of flying came from the Wright brothers in 1903, but actually it began during the Civil War. Thaddeus Lowe, a well-known scientist, gave the idea to President Lincoln of using balloons during the war. The Union Army Ballooning Corps were then established in 1861 and disbanded in 1863 when Lowe resigned. The Balloon Corps were a team of experienced soldiers who flew up in the air for reconnaissance. The branch was useful, but never drastically changed the outcome of the war. Decades later, World War I started and the idea of aerial combat really began. Bertram Dixon, the first British officer to fly a plane for reconnaissance, predicted that aerial warfare would change the way of battle as we know it. From then on, the countries involved in World War I raced to control the sky, particularly Germany. They advertised the monoplane, a plane with one set of wings, and relied on the Zeppelin to win their aerial battles. Britain relied on France for engine parts to begin their ascent. The first aerial kill was when Louis Quinault opened fire on a German plane. World War I also began aerial bombing, which shocked the public and excited the media. Hitler was impressed by the idea of controlling the sky. He pushed plane production, and he strengthened the Luftwaffe, or the German Air Force, tremendously. World War II began when Germany invaded Poland, not only using ground forces, but the Blitzkrieg as well. Germany had well-known pilots during most of their wars, most notably Manfred von der Richthofen, the Red Baron, scoring 80 kills in World War I. The Luftwaffe was a force to be reckoned with. Their bombings caused devastating effects and provided Germany the firepower to control Europe. It wasn't until the United States joined the World War II when Germany was being challenged when it came to aerial territory. Thanks to the Wartime Production Board, the United States produced many planes and blew a hole in Germany's seemingly unbreakable air force. Combined with Britain and France, the USAF, the U.S. Air Force obviously, wiped not only out the Germans, but the Japanese as well. The Korean War is where planes evolved. Instead of relying on propellers, the United States found the technology to create jet planes. It was a huge turning point in the history of aviation. Planes were much faster and were more difficult targets. Man had to go through more intense training to get used to the speed and maneuvers in order to master the speed demons that were being produced. It was also the first war to use helicopters for military conflicts. It shows that the Korean War is definitely not forgotten, at least not to the eyes of historians. The use of helicopters quickly increased during the Vietnam War. Due to the extensive jungle environment in Vietnam, the U.S. and Vietnamese air forces relied on choppers for supplies. However, it escalated dogfighting and high-altitude battles between U.S. and Vietnamese pilots using the most advanced aircraft. Robin Olds, a veteran pilot in World War II and Vietnam, has close experience with dogfights. He is the first and only pilot to shoot down an aircraft while gliding. He was able to take out squadrons of enemy aircraft using only his 3 wingmen. Using techniques from World War II and by thinking fast on his feet, Robin Olds is an inspiring pilot who overcame great odds. He died in 2007. The Vietnam War improved bombing maneuvers and showcased new high-tech aircraft, which are still used today. Aerial combat hasn't been intense since Vietnam, but many things have changed since then. Radar and sonar are being used in many ways. Stealth has become a secret project in the eyes of the few, and creation of new aircraft has become so advanced we're 10 years ahead of the estimated time. Right now, the most advanced is the F-22 Raptor, able to take turns and dive better than no man has ever seen. The world is advancing at an incredible rate, inspiring millions to reach for the sky and follow their dreams. It is unsure what will happen in the future of air combat. It is also uncertain how far we will reach the next 80 years, but if we were able to improve on the phrase, "the sky is the limit," who knows what else we can accomplish.